Uh, Nonetheless, tonight we have Deb Bauer and Jeff Vincent, and I've known them forever. Jeff has done some remarkable restorations together. They have an extraordinary, well, you'll see, it's going to be quite the tour. And they're going to start off by telling you a little bit about themselves. Once again, at the end, I will thank them and open it up for questions. So stay tuned and here you go. You guys are on.
Thank you.
When Deb's around, Deb does all the talking.
No. Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome. And I'm Deb, of course, and this is Jeff. And we've been together next year, it'll be 50 years. And we've been collecting all that time, different things. Jeff collects more of the musical things. And actually, when he met me, I had a dual art piano that was working, a reproducing player. And Jeff had a buggy, a doctor's buggy. And since my interest is horses and horse-drawn things, and his interest was in mechanical music, why it was just, the writing was on the wall for that one. Anyway, thank you for coming to listen and watch what we did. Made it a little different.
Yeah,
Want to say something?
I think you'll enjoy it.
Yes, just enjoy. Hi, welcome to our home and collection. We've been collectors for almost 50 years. Usually, a tour of our collection takes over 2 hours. That's why we had to ask for questions at the end. Today, we're going to share with you some of the stories and legends of some of these automatic musical instruments. I am Deb.
And I'm Jeff. Let's get started. In 1978, I had little idea of just how many of these monkey organs were out there to experience. And up to this point, we've seen and heard hundreds of them, and about 120 of them have been into our house to be worked on or to collect. This child's Illinaris barrel piano was the first acquisition to our collection. These toy barrel pianos are imitations of the larger ones that were very common in their day. And these toys were made in the 50s for parents to give to their children after the parents had visited places like Barcelona where they were made, and they'd bring it back on a cruise ship.
This is a photograph of a cruise ship. The Queen Mary, and it's the children's nursery. And there's the barrel piano with a barrel organ grinder or barrel piano grinder there that was in there. Also, we've seen documentaries of the Titanic in the first class children's nursery. They had an Illinaris exactly like ours. A lot of children's toys were created depicting musical instruments or using similar technology. Over the years, we've been lucky to find these toys, and this toy in particular, because we have a photograph of a child with that toy and with her favorite monkey, Jocko. We know this photo was taken in 1830 or 1939 because it's a photo of my mother. She's 90 years old, 85 years ago. So we knew that Jeff and I were a great partnership right from the beginning. Video number 3. These are some of the toys in our collection, inspired by organ grinders. Jigsaw puzzle. And the graphic on the singing top, organ grinder with his monkey.
Retuned rods using a pin cylinder like on a barrel organ to activate the rods. Then there are the full-size barrel pianos. As far as how these were used on the streets, it seems that in 1880 there were as many of these barrel pianos out there as the barrel organs. And I speculate that because they had parts pretty much a full chromatic scale, and that allowed for arrangements that didn't need to be compromised as much as with a limited scale monkey organs. This barrel piano may have been used in an amusement park shooting gallery because of the remnants of the electrical wiring that are still intact that would have activated a motor to turn the barrel. Another barrel piano of the same make and size as ours was used in the 1950s on the famous Flying Horses Carousel on Martha's Vineyard.
And this is the Flying Horses Carousel in Martha's Vineyard. And there's where the barrel piano is. It's just like the ones we have.
Same make. That's how we found the maker, because of this contact with this man whose parents owned the carousel at the time. So in photos, I've seen this type of barrel piano also being used with horse-drawn children's carousels.
Here's a photo of a children's carousel in a neighborhood, and the barrel piano is right here in the cab of the truck.
At the beginning of the 20th century, a company that made traditionally farm machinery created this merry-go-round for children. Todd Augsburger restored the machine and collected or inherited ephemera about the merry-go-round, which we also acquired. The Hulk merry-go-rounds were offered in 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 seat versions. Ours is 4, and here's a photo of one with 12, a drawing of one with 12 seats.
That's 6 seats. There's 12 seats.
Another option that was offered utilized a cob organ made in Ithaca, New York. As the kids spun faster, the music played faster. We have 2 of the original Ithaca-made Hulk merry-go-round cob organs that came with the merry-go-round. Cob organ was used because the organ resets itself at the end of the tune, offering continuous music for the merry-go-round spins. To know of another Hulk merry-go-round, though incomplete, is on display in the C.W. Parker Carousel Museum located in Leavenworth, Kansas. As far as we know, ours is the only remaining complete and operational Hulk merry-go-round in existence and is still being used by lucky children.
Now you want to get off? Push that forward and then get off.
My knees get in the way.
I know, we'll stop before you get your knees in the way.
Just letting you know that it doesn't make any difference.
you guys. You'll be tired by tonight.
In Zittau, East Germany, we were told that this organ was hidden away in the countryside to escape the bombing in the cities during the wars. Originally used with a carousel, children could trank the organ for a free ride.
So, how we were able to get this particular band organ, Jeff learned about the band organ from at Deansboro, and so we called the guy in Kentucky that had it and wondered if he'd be willing to sell it. The reason we were excited about it is because it was a cranked barrel organ that had not been changed over to cards or rolls like a lot of them had been. And this was most important to me, especially because it was a way of merging both of our interests. My hobby is raising and training draft horses, and Jeff's hobby with the musical instruments. And so we use this organ in a lot of parades and in festivals with the kids, and for many years. So we were thrilled to get it. We bought this organ sight unseen and had no music playing at all. Jeff restored it.
I saw my first monkey organ when I was 5 years old while vacationing with my family on Cape Cod. I knew then and there I would one day want to collect monkey organs. This picture given to us 50 years later is amazingly of the exact organ that I had seen, but taken in Provincetown, not in Plymouth Rock. Though I didn't realize it at the time, the barrel organ and piano perfectly exemplifies the two things I was good at, mechanics and music. All I thought then was, what a great way to make music exciting. I had to know how it was done. This monkey organ and these other two are also Molinaris like the one I saw in 1958. We are fortunate to own this organ because the organ has exceptional arrangements of exciting music from 1920 pinned on the barrel of 7 tunes, 23 keys, and 32 pipes. I think that it's the ultimate arranging that Molinari did, and soon after they were out of business. But they had really exciting jazzy music to work with, so it's a great arrangement. I was proud to take this organ to New York City and play it at the Brooklyn Bridge Centennial Celebration. And more recently, this organ was used with a real monkey in the stage play Inherit the Wind for a month, every night.
That's a picture taken on the stage with a monkey and the organ.
They had to baffle the organ because it was way too loud for that auditorium.
So when we started to collect monkey organs, we made the decision to not have a monkey, but we did have a parrot. And there's the parrot out on one of our organs. And we had a substitute monkey. Here's the hat. Here's the tail. Remember, Derek? And there he is as a 2-year-old. And then he fit nicely on the organ. And any of the money we got in the tin cup went into the college fund.
When we started collecting, I still take this organ out to play for the kids at festivals, town parks, and neighborhoods.
This picture was taken in Ontario, Canada, just last summer. So often opportunities just present themselves. For instance, while at a festival with Jeff's first barrel organ, a woman walked up to him and said she had one of those things sitting next to her Steinway grand piano and had been sitting there for 40 years. And she kind of liked to get rid of it. Her attic, or I'm sorry, her living room was a half a mile away from our house. Who'd have thought? And the Molinari Jeff just played for you is that organ. Really fun. And once, when Jeff was playing at the prestigious Juried Art Festival, the vendor that Jeff was playing near finally asked him to move somewhere else because she was tired of listening to the music. Jeff dispersed the crowd and started to gather up his things to move on, and the vendor became apologetic. And then she told Jeff that her father actually had a framed lithograph that she thought Jeff might like. And there's the lithograph. How likely was that?
The first real monkey organ I purchased is this H.S. Taylor, complete with 3 fully pinned barrels, 27 keys, and 44 pipes. I took the train from Rochester to New Jersey and purchased this unrestored organ and its 3 barrels from Arnold Levine. Back on the train, I dragged the organ and its 3 barrels home in 2 boxes, passing right by the New Jersey Palisades, the same scene displayed here on the organ. I got it working a week later. None of the tunes were of the 3 barrels were played the sidewalks of New York, because when this was made, it hadn't been composed. At that time, in my opinion, a monkey organ without the tune Sidewalks of New York on it was not really a true monkey organ. I really wanted to hear it. So I converted a reed organ keyboard to interface with the organ's keyframe just so I could play and hear the Sidewalks of New York.
I don't think this is part of my job description.
I took the organ with a key frame attached to a nearby festival in Rochester, where a man walked up to play the keyboard and played the tune Tomorrow extremely well from the musical Annie. But it turns out that the man was Charles Strauss, the composer of the musical, who was in Rochester conducting a master classes as an Eastman alum at the Eastman School of Music. I think he had a soft spot for organ grinders, since there is a reference to an organ grinder in that musical. There are still organs being played in the streets. They are the remnants of around 50 organs once used for the tourist trade in the 40s and 50s in that city.
This is a newspaper article from called the Mexico City Guide and Mexico City News, and it's all in English, mainly for the tourists.
And this is one of those 50 organs that had migrated to Chicago and was for sale. Now, I was looking for exciting music, and this one had it.
Yeah, exciting music. So here's the scenario. We've already gone to bed. We were sound asleep, and in the middle of the night, the phone rings. Jeff answered the phone and sat straight up in bed. I knew we were in trouble. He said, "Deb, you just have to listen to this. This is the organ of my dreams." Now, he already had 5 organs of his dreams, but he'd found yet another organ of his dreams. And so he put the phone up to my ear and said, "Listen to this." And what I heard was beep, bops. And he said, "We have to get this organ."
And it just so happened that Craig Smith, who always helps us, was conveniently in Chicago on a business trip. And we bought the organ that day, sight unseen, since after all, Craig was there and willing to bring the organ back with him on the plane. No easy task, as the organ had 89 pipes, has 89 pipes, and weighs 90 pounds. Also helped me with my idea to make the musical arrangements visual using micro switches and LEDs. This gives me insight for arranging ideas so I can see it and not just try to figure it out by listening. I think these arrangements of Mexican Revolution songs take full advantage of what is musically possible with a barrel organ of 38 keys. The yellow lights show the bass notes, the blue ones show the accompaniment, the green ones show the melody, and the red ones show the piccolo obbligato. We purchased this John Rogers School Days, the name of this particular story, statue from the Rennigs. Is it a touching representation of the tradition around the time of the Civil War with children coming back from school and encountering the organ grinder? In an effort to bring this scene to life, I endeavored to use our Hicks dulcimer barrel piano, which we purchased from the Riders, to duplicate the three entertainments embodied in the school day theme: the music from the organ, the moving figures telling their story, and a mischievous monkey taking the boy's hat. We were able to purchase this barrel piano because it was completely unrestored and was missing all the automata figures. Once we had the piano, I immediately restored the music. Proud as I was of the instrument, I sent a recording of it to Ord Hume, a world-renowned authority on barrel-operated instruments and music boxes in England. Ord Hume wrote back to us stating that our barrel piano had the best arrangements he had ever heard on a Hicks dulcimer piano. It came my bucket list to restore the automata.
This is a lithograph of a dulcimer barrel piano with a monkey and the automata that was engraved in New York City.
40 years later, I completed the task.
We had no knowledge as to what the figures should be, so we contacted the curator at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and they had a complete Hicks dulcimer barrel piano, including all the automata. So we went down there and we looked at the figures, we took pictures of the figures, and then we came home and Jeff started working on making the figures. Now, he came up with 8 of the 10 figures and there were 2 missing. I came up with the other 2. I came up with the idea of a bird cage with a parrot flying around the top and a dancing couple. And Jeff fashioned that dancing couple on him and I.
It also became my bucket list project to create a lifelike monkey for the top of the barrel piano that was so convincing in its motions that children would think it was a real live monkey. Voila, the Rogers comes to life.
Oh, very
nice.
nice. I like the way you do that.
And then the eyelids
Oh, yeah.
and the eyes
Oh.
and
I'm trying hard to like the monkey.
this one.
Oh, there's the tongue. Great, no teeth.
It's lucky for monkey organs that Craig Smith and I live only 15 minutes apart, and we enjoy combining our skills to collaborate on the restoration of bringing back the music and beauty of these instruments. Because of this, I want to take this opportunity to share with you what I think is the rare occurrence of having 4 very different Hicks barrel organs under one roof.
And so for this, Jeff took his Hicks dulcimer barrel piano, we loaded it into the car, and then we went off to Craig and Kathy Smith's house, just to have 4 Hicks mechanical instruments under one roof.
This Dienst orchestrion was used in a restaurant in Argentina and came complete with an Argentine coin still in the collection box. The music coming from this compact, weight-driven orchestrion is impressive. We did not know that when we purchased it at the Sotheby's auction in New York City. The reason we purchased it is because it fit nicely into Deb's Volvo station wagon.
Another area where I made a difference.
Organ built by George Astor, with the brother of the well-known John Jacob Astor, America's first multimillionaire, having made his millions in the fur trade, opium trade, and mostly in real estate. John worked in his brother's factory building instruments for a while as a young man. When John immigrated to America, he imported instruments from his brother's factory to sell around 1810 to get him started in the new world. When we purchased this organ, the case was completely black. As I was cleaning the almost 200-year-old grit and grime off the case with denatured alcohol, I accidentally removed some of the painted medallion. I didn't know that there was an oil painted on it. So Deb bailed me out. She repainted it with a lot of research involved, and I knew then and there, once again, Deb was the woman of my dreams.
Ooh, you heard it. Anyway, we have tours that come here quite often. They come to see the house and the history around the house, or they come to see the area where we live because it's unusual, or they come to see the musical instruments that we have. And one group we had here were a class of musicologists from the Eastman School of Music. And the one instrument that they went crazy over is the Astor parlor organ. And the reason they went crazy over it is because it was pinned in 1810. And the 3 barrels that we got with it were never changed. So the music that's on the barrels is what they were listening to in 1810. And it's kind of fun because some of those tunes were actually written for families. So one of the names would be Lord MacDonald's Reel or Lady Campbell's Waltz. And then there's Money Musk. Do you know what tune that is?
Marty Rennig advertised this large flute clock organ as a unique museum piece because of the number of pipes and its sophisticated mechanism. Marty attributed the organ to the Black Forest Blessing family. Originally imported from Belgium in the early 1960s, the organ passed through 10 dealers before we acquired it. This picture shows a smaller, complete example of what the case this organ was in may have looked like. Only royalty could have afforded something like this. When entertaining, the attendant would take out the 8-tune cylinder used to mark the time and replace it with another cylinder which was spirally pinned because it was built with that capability to play both kinds. It could play a continuous 8-minute overture in order to show off the organ's full capabilities. 154 pipes, 60 keys, automatic stop controls, and a scale capable of playing in minor. This cylinder has the full arrangement of the overture, Auber's overture to the opera Fra Diavolo. We have only recorded for you a portion of the 8-minute overture that shows the automatic stops and the scale of the arrangement. Flute clock organ, I was most interested in the music the organ would make. For me, having a case was not necessary, yet Deb was always interested in acquiring a complete flute clock. Recently, having acquired a complete and all original grandfather's flute clock, Nancy Frati had contacted Craig Smith to see if we could fix up the organ. And when Nancy offered to send the organ, Craig, knowing of Deb's organ of her dreams interest,
a large grandfather's clock case with an attractive clock face, automata, and a sweet flute clock organ,
suggested that Nancy bring the whole clock. Thanks to Craig and to our just tall enough ceiling, we immediately purchased the clock, and the organ of Deb's dreams was brought home to be restored.
Yeah, and it sort of caused a little bit of a family quarrel because when Jeff was restoring the clock and the organ, he came and told me that the clock actually plays the music first and then chimes. I said, yeah, but our cuckoo clocks always cuckoo and then they play the music. So it must be backwards. So he worked very hard to switch it around. We had a lot of conversations with Craig about it, and Jeff managed to switch it around so it would play the strike first and then the music. Well, just last week, Jeff came to me with a book called The Musical Clock, written by Ord Hume. And it says the greater majority of musical clocks are made to perform in the minute or so before the chime strike sequence. They perform what is in effect a call to the listener so that the listener could pay attention and count the strokes of the approaching hour. And so Jeff went to work and managed to get it switched back to the way it was originally.
We've just shared some highlights from our collection of over 40 examples of automatic musical instruments.
And over the years, we've really appreciated the Music Box Society's willingness to include our varied collection of automated musical instruments, which are anything but the music boxes that we also love. So we'll close our presentation with the one music box that we have. We purchased this music box from a woman whose grandfather owned this 20 and a quarter inch upright Regina. When we went to see the music box, it was for sale because the woman's husband was worried the kids would break the glass. There was an immovable stipulation to the sale. We could not purchase the music box unless we agreed to purchase all of the horse-drawn toys and keep them with the music box because these were her grandfather's greatest possessions and she wanted them to stay together. Well, needless to say, I was thrilled because of my horse-drawn hobby. Yet another perfect union. Thank you to Roger Wiegand, Marie Beamish, Craig and Kathy Smith, to our sons Brandon and Derek Corbett, and everyone else who's helped us over the years to have what we have.
And please feel free to come and visit and see the rest of our collection if you happen to be in Rochester, New York. Thank you. A minor setback.
We carved pumpkins to put on the health merry-go-round. We put them out there last night to see what it would look like. And we left them there, and the wild animals came and ate the pumpkin. So now we have to do another pumpkin. Oh, there's our pooches. So.
First of all, I'd like to thank Deb to make this such a special presentation. It would have been extremely boring if it had been my choice of presentation.
And thank you, you're welcome. And thanks to Jeff for having the interest that he does and putting up with all my suggestions. And you too, Roger.
It's time for questions.
Thank you, Deb and Jeff, and you can turn your videos back on now and your audio back on. We're going to open it up for questions and answers. And by the way, remember, we're looking for more presenters and also a host for the Princeton Convention and Rally coming up. So here we go, opening it up to everyone.
Here, Jeff and Deb, where are you guys actually located again?
Yeah, sorry about that. We were supposed to say it, but we're a little amateur at this. Rochester, New York, and we welcome visitors anytime. It's the only way the house gets cleaned, or it doesn't.
Are you right in like downtown?
We're in the suburb of Brighton. We live in an unusual area, and if you look up Corbett's Glen, Corbetts Glen, it's actually a park in the town of Brighton, and we're right in the middle of the park. And the only way to get to our house is through that tunnel, which is why we put the barrel piano in the tunnel. We thought that was kind of fun.
But you know where Craig Smith lives, so we're only 15 minutes from here.
Right, we're real close to Craig and Kathy in more ways than one. So anybody wants to come visit, you're welcome anytime, truly. If you just happen to be going by, give a call. Maybe we're here. Just show up on the front porch. Not a problem.
You never know. I'm like a bad penny. You never know where I'll show up.
Well, I don't think any penny's bad, so come on along.
Are you up off Monroe by the 12 corners going up toward Brighton?
We're near there. Yeah, we're real close to there.
Yeah. Okay. I know Rochester a little bit.
Yeah, it does sound like that, right?
But I'm a Long Islander, really.
That's okay.
Thank you so much.
Great presentation. Thank you so much again.
Enjoy it.
I have a question, Jeff. Were you a piano tuner?
Yes, I am. Still, I will continue as long as I can.
Well, you have tuned the piano that used to be at my house. I live in Penfield.
Oh,
I know exactly where you are.
We haven't been to your house to see your collection yet, though.
Well, I don't have a collection. In fact, that piano moved to my stepdaughter's house, so I don't even have that. But I live on Huntington Meadow.
You're a
So,
member of MBS?
what's that?
Amica.
You're a member of MBS?
I'm a member of NCA.
Okay.
Great. Well, come on down, and if you know anybody who wants their piano tuned, give a holler. We only go by word of mouth.
Yes, I'm astonished to meet you.
Come by the house sometime if you know where it is.
I know exactly where you are.
If you have a dog, bring it along to play with ours.
Well, I have a little dog. She's laying here on the floor sleeping. Mabel's a little schnoodle. Mhm.
I always brag to my customers that I haven't done a day's work since I got out of college because I love doing it so much. It's not work to tune a piano.
Well, I think you also entertained our couples club one time from the downtown Presbyterian Church.
Yes.
But I was out of town at the time, so I didn't get to be there. So thank you. This was wonderful.
Okay, back to Jeff. Another question. Jeff, what instrument that you don't have would you like to have or that you're still looking for? Anything special?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh,
What
I
is-
hit a sore spot there.
Well, there are three of them, but I just put them, I have recordings of them all, and I put them on a cassette tape, and I listen to them and look at the pictures and satisfied with that.
What are they?
There's one in Michigan, which is, we saw at a rally many years ago. I'd love to have that. Another one was sold in Florida that was lovely, and that went to somebody else, and I don't know where it is. And there's the one that I worked on for a guy in Boston, and that is now in Europe, but you can go on the internet and hear that. It's a lovely clarinet, 30-note clarinet monkey organ. So there are a number of them, but I don't regret anything because I'm amazed at what we've been able to find and how musical it all is. So I'm just very grateful for what we do have, even though there are always others that would be fun to have.
You must have quite a shop though. I mean, you probably have to do some fabrication and stuff like that, right?
No, Craig does all that. He's the one.
Craig does all that stuff, huh?
Good to have Craig.
I can do it, but it's not nearly as professionally done. It's kind of unorthodox when I do
Well, it's
things.
great that you guys work together.
Oh, other than Deb and me, it's the match made in heaven.
How about you, Deb? Are you still dreaming?
I dream all the time. No, I'm very satisfied with everything. I told my kids if I died tomorrow, I'd be dying with a smile on my face. Nope.
Right, very good.
You
Yeah,
enjoy
so
the sharing.
I'm
That's
very
wonderful.
lucky. I'm very lucky.
I'm 73 and Deb is 70, and I tell people now we're not downsizing, we're upsizing because we just sold Deb's mother's farm.
70 and 73, you're just babies.
Oh,
That's right. That's right.
that's good to
So
hear.
we're
Yeah,
building a shed to make a new museum for all the horse.
We'll bring all the horse-drawn stuff home to the house here. So my mother sold her farm,
So
so
we're upsizing.
yeah.
Upsizing.
Yeah.
Even though we ran out of space years ago.
Mr.
There's
Jeff,
always room for one more.
It's a 32-foot building, 16 feet deep, so it'll hold a lot of stuff.
All horse-drawn.
Mr. Jeff,
Yes,
on the presentation, I think you mislabeled that Wurlitzer. It's actually a 146A.
you're right. I did this label. Thank you.
The 150 is a trumpet organ.
Okay, yeah. Exactly. I thought I was messing that up.
The reason why he mislabeled it is because it doesn't have a crank. He knows all about cranks and not anything other than cranks.
Well, all I knew was it played a 150 roll, but other models do too, so.
Thanks for saying so, though.
The 146A does play 150 rolls.
Yes, I've cut my teeth on that one. Boy, it didn't work at all, and I've just made every mistake you could make on it, but it works.
Including the fact that we keep it out in the horse barn, right next to the horse stall. And when we first got it here, Craig had some thoughts about that. But last year, after winter was over, Jeff went out to play it for the neighborhood or whatever, just to play it. And none of the big
Trombone.
trombones played. And so he wondered about that. So he took one of the pipes out, and in the bottom of each trombone pipe was a kernel of corn.
One of them had a baby mouse in it.
Oh, yeah, all right. All right.
But it plays beautifully now.
There's no end to it. You have to enjoy it because it's a constant maintenance fight. There's always something happening, is deterioration or animals doing their thing.
How many horses do you have?
Well, we have 3 now left. And one time we had 49, and that's with my mother's farm. It's my mother that had most of them. And we have 3 left, so I have one team, and one riding horse. And so I mean, we're that band organ, the helps that Jeff played, the big band organ there that he cranked. It takes
Right.
everything to crank it. It's a very hard wheel to crank. I don't think Jeff can last a whole parade anymore by cranking it. But we'll see. Maybe we'll have grandkids or who might want to crank it someday while we're up front driving the horses.
Oh, I know I can last because it's called adrenaline.
Oh.
Adrenaline. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, so we kept three horses and they're boarded out and I can have them here too. But for now they're boarded out where they can just live as horses and enjoy the fresh air and a really nice farm, which is only 15 minutes from here. So it's very special. Yeah.
Do they react at all to the music?
Well, I don't know when King. I have some pictures, but when King was the first stallion, he's a stallion, and he was a 2-year-old. Well, he's born and raised on the farm, and he was 2 when I started working with him. And by the time he was a 3-year-old, we hooked him up to different wagons to drive single, double, in a 3-horse hitch. As that plowing picture has him in the middle of 2 older horses because we're training him. Anyway, he he I think he did prance to the music but he's a stallion and you know how studs are. They're always strutting their stuff. So it could be the music, it could just be because he was out there showing off. Who knows? But no,
Interesting.
they're trained with it, right? So they know the music, so it's not a problem. Doesn't scare them. Nope.
Great.
And this is Bob Easterly. It's really great to see you guys. And enjoyed everything when I got together with Jeff and walked through all the instruments. So, yeah, I don't have the video running because it looks like I had to exit the program and start it again to get the video up. But anyways, I've kept up my studies with the banjo and the ukulele and the violin, fiddle. So I enjoy the music.
Thanks, Bob.
All the
Let's hear
skill
from-
involved with you playing piano too, you know.
Where's Ann? Does she have anything to say?
I don't
Jeff,
think it's right yet.
last question. I'm hogging the mic here. All the instruments are restored. Everything is working. What do you do now in your spare time? I mean, do you watch TV all afternoon and eat bonbons or what?
Keep them working and work on other organs for other people. And maybe someday
Okay.
getting that monkey to do the 27 things I built it to do, which has been a failure. All kinds of things on the list. I'll never be able to check everything off on the list, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, when
Have
we
you
first
been
started,
approached?
collecting, I sort of made, because we've been to a couple collections, different places, and there's always that monkey organ up on the shelf that's in pieces, and Jeff salivates, right? So I said, you know what, whatever you have here, have it all working. So that, and that's so everything that's here, he works on periodically. And of course, they're wooden instruments, and we have this discussion about whether we heat the house or not, right? 'Cause they all go out
I'm
of
sure that the temperature and humidity has a lot to do with it. Yes.
right. And so we have this discussion, and unfortunately, we have hot water heaters, our hot water radiators, right? Because the house is 120 years old, and so that's fine. And so one winter, very very cold, Jeff did not want the heat on in where all the monkey organs are. And I said, but you have to because the radiators are going to freeze. Well, oh, no, they're not. Well, 3 of them did.
See,
And so from then on, we do run heat through the house. So even though it's hard to keep the instruments in tune, so that keeps you busy.
all
We're
right.
stickering Apico B in the dining room, in the living room. You might have seen it in the video. And I have to tune that 10 times a year because it's sitting next to a wood-burning stove.
Okay. Yeah.
I
The
just-
wood shrinks, expands, shrinks, expands, shrinks, expands.
So he's
Luckily,
saying,
So tell me, what's for the question for the both of you? What's on your bucket list?
I had three things on my bucket list and I've done them, so I'm happy that I was able to accomplish the three I had. So there's always, I find things. I just found a website called the Bowery Boys. It has 500 wonderful podcasts of the history of New York City, and there's just no end to the entertainment that I can find wherever I look. So I'm in heaven.
It's true, true.
I think it's kind of interesting because we really, even though we have all that we have, we don't really have any needs or wants. I mean, we've been lots of places, and like I said, my goals, I had three goals, and my goals were all attained. And now we're into the extras, like the grandchildren. I mean, how wonderful are they? And very, very special. And our boys are wonderful, and their wives are wonderful, and we're just very fortunate. And so, really, we just take each day as it comes. I mean, what I did, 2 years ago, during COVID or whatever, I pulled out my baritone horn, hadn't played it in 40 years. I thought, hey, why not, you know? Well, now I'm in 5 bands.
Ah, good for you.
That comes along to haul the baritone, and then I started playing the accordion. That's even worse. You know, what 70-year-old takes an accordion to learn how to play it? And this
Very good.
weighs 35 pounds. So Jeff
Yeah,
turns
right.
it all around for me so that I can have that fun. So, every
All
day
right.
it's another adventure.
Well,
Something.
you
Okay,
seem
right.
like happy people and you got to keep it up.
Thanks for sharing. I would like to know, with your beautiful and many pieces unusual collection, have you been approached to sell any one of those pieces?
Yes, the guy that owns the collection that's going to be on the tour in Philadelphia, he wanted to buy that reiterating barrel piano that had the carousel on it. He saw it at Knoebels when we took it there. And I said, I'm sorry, we don't sell anything. We are not dealers. We only restore them and keep them if we can. And that was the only issue I've ever had. Most of the stuff has only gone down in value, as you know. There's no
Yeah,
real
yeah.
there's really nothing in the way of investment quality in any of it, but that's not why we have it.
No, the market is soft now. Yes.
Unbelievably soft because the people that loved him are no longer with us.
Yeah, for whatever reason. And the boys are interested in, they care about our music and the instruments, and they're both musical too. So they may decide they're gonna have to pick and choose what they want, and whatever. So we'll see. But at this point, no, I don't think we've ever, I mean, the one, okay, so Jeff restored a barrel piano, and it's the one with the little merry-go-round on it out there. And it's wonderful because it has that reiterating thing. So, and it also plays minor, which, not a lot of them do. And so I just fell in love with that one song, the bra brum 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 brum, whatever. So he restored it for somebody, and I told that person when they took the organ, when we dropped the piano off to him, if ever you want to sell it, let me know. Well, a week before Jeff's birthday, he called me and said, I guess I'm ready to give up this barrel piano. Well, it was perfect timing. He didn't know it was Jeff's birthday. So that day on Jeff's birthday, Jeff was out tuning. So the boys and I went over there with a Suburban and bought it, put it in the back of the Suburban, and then we went and met Jeff, picked him up to go to dinner from his tuning. It was dark. It was dark. So, and Jeff's not always aware of things. He hops into the car, didn't see the barrel piano in the back, but wouldn't you know it, I went over the railroad tracks and one of the bells went ding. He said, "You don't have that barrel piano, do you?" He knew it. He knew it. I said, "Yeah, I do." He wanted to sell it. So anyway, and that's how we ended up with that one. So no,
Oh my goodness.
You ought to tell them how you got Phil's piano.
no, there you go. Phil's piano. Oh, that's not a wonderful story though. Tell him how you got Phil.
You start it, Craig. I don't remember. You tell a good story, Craig. You always tell a good story. Go for it.
Oh, well,
we saw an advertisement from a fellow that was selling a barrel piano, and he, well, had a barrel piano, and he wanted it restored. So I called him up and I told him, Jeff knows how to do that. And if you bring it down to Rochester, Jeff will restore it for you. So he put it in his pickup truck and put a piece of tarp over it and dragged it down here and left it with you to be restored. Now you tell him the rest.
Said he said we'll try to raise money on YouTube to pay for it because we have no money. He was doing it for his neighbor across the street who was 80 years old. Remembered hearing organ grinder at Saratoga Springs as a kid. He didn't know he was buying a piano. He thought he had a monkey organ, but he had a piano, which was the last thing he should have had when it weighs 400 pounds and he doesn't know how to tune. So everything turned out fine because they could not pay for it, and we kept it. And this is a famous Liverpool organ grinder
from England.
Barrel Organ Phil in Liverpool, England, and he you can see him on the internet if you look up Barrel Organ Phil, and he had a stroke, so he couldn't really speak, but with a slur, and he had a sign in front of it saying, "Go easy on me. My speech is slurred." Well, that was 1970. Well, the year we finished restoring it, he was still alive, and we wanted to contact him to play it for him, but he died, and then because we couldn't make contact with the guy who had dropped it off, he wasn't really available. He wouldn't answer our phone calls. So the guy never got to hear it. So that just goes to show you just have to do things right when they happen, because anything can happen and you don't want to miss the opportunity. But the guy, when he heard the piano, the older fellow that purchased it, he said the hair stood up on his arms. It just made him very happy. And then he passed away too. So it served its purpose, and now we can play it for people, and it'll go in the new shed if it fits, along with all the
Wait a minute. We haven't had that discussion. And it's out by the horse stall also, along with the band organ.
It's on a wagon.
On with its weight wheels,
it qualifies.
Hey, it's on a wagon right where the shed's gonna be. All you gotta do is leave it there.
Yeah, that's right.
Build around it.
Anyway, that wasn't in this video that we just did. I mean, a lot of instruments were.
Yes, we played two tunes from it.
Not from
yeah. That was Barrel Organ Phil's barrel piano in the tunnel.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yes, we did. That's right. In the tunnel.
Lovely music, isn't it? It's a Spanish
I'm
barrel
sorry,
piano.
right. I forgot that.
Yeah. We have 3 of those Spanish barrel pianos, and one family was moving to Florida and they gave it to us. They live about 20 miles west of Rochester, and it's for sale if anybody wants it, because I can't keep track of everything, it's buried in a bunch of stuff and it's hard to keep in tune, and just I didn't want to see it go into the dumpster, so I brought it home and fixed it up, and now if anybody wants it, they can buy it. The last thing you do is throw a barrel piano or barrel organ away. I can accept throwing a player piano away or a grand piano, but not a barrel organ or a barrel piano. That's not acceptable.
Hey, Jeff, I heard that, I remember you played that barrel out in the shed or the garage, and that was just great. I remember the story with Phil on that before. So it was a beautiful instrument. I think you had to reset something like 22,000 pins to get that to work or something like that.
20,000 pins. I took each one out and cut it off and placed it back in.
There you go. And another sideline, I put it in the chat line, but when Greg came up and I see his picture, I see in the background, I recognize that Xerox clock. I think I had one of those a long time ago. It's like a Xerox 2400 or 36.
You got a good eye.
I'm telling you, I see that in the background. I had one of those working, but I forget what happened to it. It's been a long time ago. You must have got that at least 45 years ago or 35 years ago.
Yeah, and it was made by Ruby Process in Rochester.
Right, right, right.
And I knew Jack Ruby, and I have the prototype.
Oh, well, that's neat. So obviously you were at Xerox for years. I was there for 40 years.
Ah,
I
okay.
guess.
I was only
Is
there
that the
30.
clock on the shelf right behind you?
Yeah, the one that looks like a duplicator. It's in that middle shelf under the left
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
Let's see.
yeah.
Let's see, where is it?
Yeah.
It's there. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
I can't tell where I'm pointing.
But you
Okay.
are pointing right at it.
Yeah, that's that typical numerical flip. That's old classic flip clock where as you turn the dials, the numbers would flip around.
Yep. Yep.
That's the guts inside it. And the clock itself is all wood. It's all custom done, carved in wood with little, a sorting bin and everything else on it. It was fascinating, so.
The prototype's down cellar, and it's solid walnut, and it's not painted.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
The shame of it is that Craig can't tell time. No, I'm only kidding. Only kidding.
So on another sideline, I just wanted to touch base on another sideline for Jeff and Deb. As you go farther, instead of back from just the acoustical instruments that we've had at the museum and so on, we got that beautiful, I think it's a 20-wheel wax cylinder player that I finally got up on display for a while. And they put it back in storage during our Sound Sense expedition.
It's an Edison.
The multi-phone.
Yeah, what it was I wish I could have a picture of it in front of you to show you, but it's a large cabinet that was about over 6 feet tall with a front door, and you opened it up and it was a huge cylinder, and I think it held something like anywhere from 15 to 20 wax cylinder discs, and you would crank it, and there was a picture of it, an old photograph from 1860s, and it looks like there was a white tablecloths, with the servers had hats on, bringing the people, and the people, the wealthy people, would sit down for their meal, and they would turn a crank, and they would make a selection. It was a push buttons and push a selection, and it would roll around and bring the wax cylinder and start playing it. The issue for the museum is if they put that on display and kept trying to play it, you only get so many plays on a wax cylinder before it's destroyed. And that's what they didn't want to leave it there for constant play.
Which museum are you talking about?
Rochester Museum and Science Center.
RMSC.
Oh, downtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had it on the third floor. We had a series of exhibitions on sound, and I did the medical portion. So I was showing how sound affects the parasympathetic and sympathetic when they hear music. And it illustrated all that. And I went to Ward Scientific and got one of these anatomical models, and had all the different organs light up the internal organs light up to as the person would push the buttons and understand how sound and music would affect it. So we've done different things like that. That went on display for about a year, and I think most of those things are packed away and they'll get pulled out again.
How long ago was that?
How long ago it got put away, or how long ago was the exhibit? That was probably a year and a half ago.
No, it was on exhibit a year and a half ago?
Yeah, a year and a half ago. It was on the third different spots, sure.
Oh, because I got a call from down there to help them teach them how to restore it. That was maybe 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, they had Parsons organ. They had several pieces. We met with Parsons, and we had a section of their organ there. And we had oscilloscopes to illustrate the electronic side of it. But on a separate side note, Jeff, remember I was a factory service rep for Lowry and Hammond, Gibson, and all that for years. So I have all the original books, all the service manuals, all the technical documents and everything back since the late 20s, early 30s of all the Hammonds, and the Moog synthesizer and all the Fenders and stuff like that. So if you get into something that you're trying to restore, I can try to pull up the old paperwork, the original, because I don't think it's available anywhere.
So you know a lot about the tone wheel mechanism and how to repair it.
I used to work on that, and a long time ago. Yep.
Wow.
That was back in the late 60s and early 70s, but yes. And I used to do stage work. I did go on stage and I used to recone speakers and rebuild some of the amplifiers and stuff like that. Remember what was going on in the late 60s and 70s. That was a rough time.
Well, it
People
makes you,
destroying their equipment on the stage.
it makes you a real piece of history when you can say you worked on those things.
Oh my goodness.
I interviewed a guy the other day, he's 101 years old, and he used to work on the Corbett farm back in the 38 as a young boy, and he was telling all kinds of stories about it. It's just surrealistic to think people are still around that had that experience.
It is just fascinating to talk and to let these people just listen to them and have they tell you, tell me what story you've got, and just let them, what are you thinking about? What did you do as a boy and stuff like this? So yeah, and medical calls. I remember I had a patient that was 106 and,
Wow.
sitting there talking to him and he's talking about, of course he's talking about right after the Civil War and the family and things going on.
Wow.
Wow. Nice experience.
So this guy was born in 1923, and when the Second World War came along, he ended up being a tail gunner and a bomber. He did 17 missions. Can you imagine the chances?
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible.
But he made it.
And did he have anything to do with music after with all that noise?
Mhm.
Surprised he
Well, I
wasn't
don't
deaf.
think, yeah, I don't think he was involved in music.
No, not at all.
Okay.
He just worked on Corbett's property and what was his other thing?
Oh, he worked everything. He worked in the Lawless paper mill, and he worked in the dispatch car shops as um a blacksmith. He had all kinds of jobs, but he's going great. He just is
Still
amazing.
around, huh? Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. This is I really appreciated that you sent me the note about your Zoom meeting, this type thing.
We are a kindred spirit.
There you go. I know. We gotta get together again.
I
So
think they'll appreciate it.
you know who really wanted to set up something with you folks was the Parrington Historical Society. Wanted to have they're looking at presentations, and
Okay.
several people were asking me about Mike. Oh, can we get over there? It goes, well, let me give Jeff a call. And I think the timing was, your your son or daughter just had the baby. You just had the grandson.
That
And
was in
years,
March. Yep.
yeah, right. So it was just the wrong timing for that. So I think if things are opening up a little bit, maybe I'll get back with them. But there would be a couple people
Sure.
from the Parrington Historical Society, and honest to goodness, they would love on the background of all these instruments to understand it and where it come. I mean, to me, I could see a wonderful presentation for the community. You may have done this for Brighton, right? Brighton Historical.
We've done things over the years. We did for Irondequoit and Webster and different things. We used to take all the organs out. We don't do that quite so much anymore because it's a lot of effort. And
Right.
but certainly anybody can come here. It doesn't make any difference. We have groups all the time.
Right.
And we're
But
very happy to have people come here. It's just easier.
the great thing is the president of the Parrington Historical Society is also the president of the Pittsford Historical.
Oh, that's neat.
So she's covering the whole area,
Wow, that's
which
wonderful.
surrounds your location.
Yeah, that'd be great. Sure,
So we
anytime.
try to get that together. I'll make that connection, and
Great.
you know, so yeah, if you guys are up to that, we'll try to set up something, and I'm sure it can be something where it's workable for you, during the day or whatever.
Sure. Be great.
How many people could you accommodate in a group?
Ideally, it's just a couple. If it's 30 people, we've had as many as 50, but it's hard to keep everybody's interest, and everybody has a different interest. So you'll lose the group very quickly into the tour. If there's just a couple people, you can get through the whole 2 hours successfully, or 1 hour, or whatever, till they roll their eyes.
I'd say anywhere between probably 30, 35 people are easy to accommodate. And then we just don't go into that much in depth of the different things.
Our point is the more people, the more you have to dumb it down.
Right. Yeah. Well, Jeff, I've seen you, I've talked to you guys before, and I think what would be ideal is 2, 3 people at best that have a real strong interest. And that as you walk through these pieces, but then the follow-up is not to have a whole pile of people coming in. Like normally they may have 100 people in attendance at one of their meetings, but maybe put something together and we go there. You go to Parrington.
Yeah, we can do that. We've done
Right.
that. We have a whole show that we used to do all the time.
Exactly.
We haven't
And,
done it in a long time, but we could certainly do it. And
and
then
then some of these
even
people,
showing the video. I mean, there's
right.
something there.
Well, what you've already got the pieces that we just saw tonight, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
We could easily bring 8 of them to a location without too
Okay.
much trouble.
Right.
Well, when I talk to them, I'll try to, I'll have that discussion and we'll get a contact with you.
Okay.
I'll try to figure out what the hardest part is working out the times together. It's best for you and best for them.
It's a lot of capability for exciting people. It's a matter of how charismatic the person presenting it is. It makes a big difference is how well received the instruments are, is how they're presented. That's always the case. And so I always say, without me, my emotional passion, the instruments are dead. Nobody knows what they are until somebody brings them to life.
Exactly.
Wow, we would enjoy doing that.
But we
Yeah.
prefer to come to the house if possible.
Well,
this
it's just
would-
easier, but we can go there too. It doesn't make
No,
Doesn't-
this would be, it's out in Henrietta. It would be a noontime lecture. It's
Okay.
in person and in Zoom. And it could be quite a few people in a room. So if you brought a few of your instruments, we could talk about this.
Sure, we could certainly do that. Not a problem. We don't have, oh, yes, we do. I was gonna say, we don't have anyone having kids right now. We do. Our other daughter-in-law is having a baby in December.
Oh, that's good. Well,
But
we
they're
will
in
be,
North Carolina, so we don't get down there too often.
well, best wishes to her.
Well, thank you.
I'm a retired OB nurse, so best wishes.
Yeah, you can understand all the ins and outs of all that, literally.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're always happy to share because it's the same thing with where we live, which is very unusual, right?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of groups here because of where we live.
Mhm.
And the town of Brighton had us on a historic tour of some sort, and the people had 20 minutes to be here.
Oh,
And yeah, they all came back after they got off the bus. They came back. We had people here like all night. And it was, it was just really rough. But so both areas are very popular.
yeah, really.
We have fun.
Wow.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Deb.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hi, Debbie.
How are you?
You remember?
Yeah,
Do you
I
remember my
remember.
name?
Of course I do. Were you listening to the video?
Yes, I was.
How did you keep
My
your-
name is Kaylana.
See, they remember.
Right.
How did you stay quiet for so long until the last?
I know.
The mute button.
I know. I gotta ask you. I have the big cob organ that is so big.
It's not so big.
Humongous. And
It is huge.
very different from the ones that I have right now.
You're talking about the Cobbs, the big barrel on his.
Lindro, you know what that is?
Yep. Okay.
Great to see you, Kaylana.
Ask him about me this one.
Do you know the sidewalks of New York?
Yes.
Near Arabia up that way.
Is it your favorite?
This is my favorite.
Oh,
Hi, Craig.
oh gosh, there we go.
Hi there. I thought I saw you in the background.
Hi, Craig.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
I just want to tell you and say thank you for fixing the card and giving it to me because I deserve it.
Yeah, that's right.
Good for
I
you.
agree.
So I have a question
Great,
for
Kaylana.
Trev and Vincent.
Yes.
Recently, a few weeks ago in September of of 2025 on Sunday, September 14th, there was a guy named Bill Black, Dr. Bill Black. He lives in Chamberlain. He died at the age of 83.
Yes,
His
correct.
his carousel music still lives on, and his website is still running. So his dentist in Chamberlain, and
Yeah.
he died at the age of 83 years old.
Yep. Well, his music lives on, right?
His music lives on.
That's right.
That's very exciting.
Right.
Does anybody know who Dr. Bill Black is?
Oh, I'm sure they all do. I'm
Well,
sure
you
they all
told us about him at the rally.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. That's right.
Um,
Yep. Unfortunately, he has passed, but like I said, his music lives on, right? Because, can you say thank you so much for the presentation?
Thank you so much for the presentation.
It was wonderful.
And Craig, thank you for the card. Oh, Bob! Hi, Bob!
Oh, he's not on. He's muted.
Well, Kaylana, we'll see you soon at a rally somewhere, okay?
Oh,
Yes, that would be
really?
nice.
It's
Sometime
great to see
soon.
you. This is Bob. Great to see you.
Oh,
Hi, Kaylana.
Bob,
Yeah.
you look hilarious. You look hilarious. Thank you for signing the book of your carving and
Oh,
what you
yes.
do because it's still in my heart, and I want to say thank you for everything that you do.
Oh,
And
thank
and I wish you I want you to know that I really want you to know that I really want to come over to your carving studio and see what you do.
Oh,
So
someday.
do we. We
Maybe
want to do that.
Well, Joel showed the Amica and COAA and MBSI convention coming up, and there were pictures of 2.5 organ facades that I carved. One, Glenn, I did an organ for him. The American Treasure Tours, there's a facade that he showed a picture of that I carved, and then was Bill Black's facade.
Bill Black passed
165,
away
I did.
age
Pardon?
83, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so lots of fun stuff. So if you guys are in the area, for sure, come visit. Yeah.
Mhm.
We'll do that.
That'd be
Okay,
great.
great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye,
Good
night.
Kaylana.
Good night,
Hey.
Kaylana.
Good night, guys.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Hey, I wanted to say hi to Deb and Jeff. It's so good to see you guys again. I don't know if you can see me. It's Lisa.
I see you. Hi, Lisa.
Yeah. That was fantastic, and it brought me back to being at your house and listening to those machines and in Corbett's Glen. And when you came to my house, Jeff, and played that one with all the carved figures, and you guys are just precious, precious, precious people. So I enjoyed it. And also hello to Craig. Hi, Craig.
Hello there.
We toured the Powers building together, if you remember, a few
Oh,
years
yes.
ago for our event that never happened.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yes. Yeah. Hi to everybody. It's good to see you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for chiming in.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
I'll see you next summer.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Maybe sooner. Who knows?
Okay, sounds great.
Did you get the bust yet?
No, it's at Dick's. I haven't been back there for that. But I will be. I just bought, not to take up time, I just bought myself a Ford Transit Connect cargo van. And I'm gonna do a van conversion in the back of it so I can travel more often and go more places. So you'll see me more often when I get that done.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to travel, I think.
It just feels fun and exciting, and I'm 67, but I'm not done yet. So
You go.
yeah,
Yay.
There are stages in life.
there are. Yep.
You're at a great stage.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed it so much. Can't imagine.
It's a little homespun, but
No, it was perfect.
Fun with a professional tinge.
It was perfect.
It
Absolutely
was
perfect.
excellent. It was
Yeah.
excellent.
well, thank you.